Okay, well, it doesn't look like we have a huge turnout tonight, but that's okay. We'll record the presentation for the website. So just wanted to say thanks to both Councillor Morrison and Quapis for joining us tonight. And I can just introduce our project team members. So my name is Rob Greck. I'm the manager of capital projects with the town of Newmarket. And I have here Terry Holm from the Ainley Group, who is our technical lead on the project. And Eric Ingman, our capital works project manager as well, is joining us. So I'll hand it over to Terry. He'll go over the details of the project. So take it away, Terry. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Welcome everyone for attending this. It's the virtual PIC for the trunk sanitary sewer upgrades for at 56 Charles Street and a small section on Penn Avenue. So I am a little bit about myself. I've been with the Ainley Group for over 20 years, been working in the industry for over 30. I've completed a number of projects very similar to this size, much larger ones, working on a number of projects in Newmarket right now. So we'll just go through the location improvements, some construction details, some frequently asked questions, next steps, and then we'll have the project contacts at the end. So the location, there's two locations for this work. They're in two different areas in Newmarket, but because they're fairly small, we've combined them into one contract, get one contractor in to do both projects, and get things done a little more efficiently and better value for the town. First one is at 56 Charles Street, which is just off Charles and Queen. It's adjacent to the parking lot for South Lake Hospital. You can see the youth center is in behind there. It's not on a road area. It's in a grassed area along the water course there. So there really shouldn't be any disruption to traffic for this one. Penn Avenue, it's a small section. It's two runs of existing sanitary sewer between 201 and 218 Penn Avenue. So there will be some disruption in this area, but there's a lot of options for traffic flow, and residents that live in the area will have access at all times. Planned improvements. So basically for Charles Street, why is this needed? There's a small section of existing sanitary sewer that's just, as I mentioned, just south of the South Lake parking lot. And it's currently undersized, and it creates a risk of some basement flooding to the community during an extreme storm event. So we need to get that upsized from a 250 millimeter 10-inch to a 450 millimeter, which is 18-inch. That'll increase the system capacity and minimize any risk to the upstream residents. The project will also, this one, we're also going to move the sewer away from where the existing one is pretty close to the existing creek bank. So there won't be any disruption to the flow in the sewer. We'll put the new one in. It'll be moved in closer to the parking lot, the South Lake parking lot there, but still in the grassed area, and then connect to the existing sewers. There, it's hard to get a picture in there, but it's the work is sort of in that that's the entrance, the south entrance, I think, to the parking lot exit. The work is sort of in behind those bushes there to the left, in the grassed area between that entrance to the parking lot and the water course. Penn Avenue. Oops, sorry. So Penn Avenue, similar. There's a section in there that's undersized and it needs to be upgraded. So it's going from a 450 millimeter 18-inch diameter sewer to a 525 or 21-inch diameter sewer. The residential services that are in there right now, they'll just be they won't be replaced up to property line. They're just going to be reconnected to the existing sewer. The existing sewer will be put in the same location as the existing. Sorry, the new sewer will be put in the same location as the existing. which is pretty much in the middle of the road. And there's just a look from, you can see a manhole in the bottom corner there. So it goes around the bend. There's two short runs of sanitary sewer that have to be replaced here. It's details of construction. So the town has, a tender's been issued. The town has received bids from contractors, and we're currently in the process of reviewing those bids. And then an award of the project should be hopefully any day now. Once the selected contractor provides their detailed schedule, we can then get information out to residents that are affected by the construction, let you know when the work will be commencing in your area. The work is scheduled to be completed by the end of this summer, and the town of Newmarket bylaw allows for construction activity between 7 a.m. 7 p.m. Monday to Friday. Does allow Saturday work between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. but at this time, because of the size of the project and the scope of work, we don't anticipate Saturday work, but if there is any, it would be minimal. Construction notices, so communication during construction. The contractor will be providing any notices that affect your access to your driveway ahead of time. So if they're working right in front of your house, you should get a notice on your door that you may have your driveway blocked that day. So if you need out, you can get your car out ahead of time, park on a road in a safe location. If there is any issues, the contractors are usually pretty good at getting people in and out as needed. Town staff consulting team will be available at all times to answer any questions, concerns you have, and we'll give that contact info at the end of the presentation. Traffic control, you see on the right, there's some typical construction signage that you might see in the while the work's going on. For 56 Charles Street, there won't be any impacts to traffic flow. Like we said, on Charles Street, the work is located off the road. And we have been in contact with South Lake Hospital, so they'll have access maintained at all times. We are taking up, or we've been allowed to take up, the contractor will be allowed to take about 10 parking spaces from the rec center at the back of the construction area. And that's just for storing materials on site, so they don't have to be on the road in the or in the South Lake parking lot. No lane closures for the work on Charles Street, so there should be traffic movement at all times, other than if there's some construction vehicles in and out, but those will be short-term effects. For the work on Penn, the road may be closed between Lindsay and Gwillimbury Road for about 2 weeks, maybe, to get the pipe in the ground. They will maintain access, like I said before, for emergency vehicles, garbage collection, access for residents. It's just for through traffic that are using Penn Avenue to go from one end to the other. We may set up a detour route either up Lindsay or up Longford Drive to Gwillimbury and around the work area. And during non-working hours, typically the construction area is coned off. There might be some yield to oncoming traffic signs. So if you see anything like that and you're going through, we just ask that you obey all the construction signage for your own safety, and while the workers are there, for their safety as well. Tree trimming and maintenance. So there is some brush clearing that is required at 56 Charles Street. It's pretty minor, and there are no tree removals required for the work on Penn Avenue. Utility locates, once the contract's awarded, the contractor will put in a request for utility locates. So if you start to see the flags or the paint on the road or on your property, that's what this is for. We just ask that you do not remove any flagging. These are important for the contractor, so they know where the underground utilities are when they're digging. And we've just highlighted here what the various colors are for: blue for water, green for sewers, Red is for hydro or electrical. Orange is for communications, which is typically your Bell and your Rogers. And yellow is for gas main and gas services. Dust and mud control, there's several measures in the contract to mitigate dust and mud control measures, and that could be water truck for dust, calcium for dust, depending if it's on asphalt or gravel. And mud, it's street sweepers, or they scrape it with a bucket of a loader just to clean the road off. Garbage collection, as I mentioned earlier, that'll be maintained. If there are any issues, contractor can collect your garbage, take it to either end of the job site, or we have contacts with the collection company that if it has to be picked up the next day. If it didn't get picked up, we'll make sure it does get done. Construction vibration, there will be construction equipment, so you can expect vibration while they're excavating and backfilling in the trench, doing road restoration. Typically, for this type of project, the vibration, although you will notice it, it's not significant that it would cause any damage to your house or to any features around your property. So everything there shouldn't be any issues. If there are any concerns, you can obviously let us know. Warranty, there is a 2-year warranty once the job is done. So if there's any issues that come up that are related to construction, we can follow up with the contractor and have them addressed. And the town, if there are any concerns during that warranty, you can take them directly to Eric at the town. Next steps, so award of the project. The town will be awarding the project shortly, as I mentioned, and we'll get a schedule from the contractor outlining where they'll be starting, when they'll be starting, how long they expect to be in those locations. As I mentioned, these aren't big projects, so we're not expecting them to take too long, but they will be there for could be anywhere from 2 weeks to up to a month to get the work done. So once we get that available, the town will issue a notice to all residents advising them of the expected start date for construction. And contacts, so there's any future questions, there's Eric is the town's project manager, and my contact info is there. I'll just leave this up on the screen and we can address any questions that anybody may have. And as always, we just ask that everyone during construction be patient. The workers that are there have families, they want to get home and be safe, and we want to make sure all the residents are safe as well. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Terry. It seems like we have a few questions here. The first one is, will there be any disruption to the Tom Taylor Trail for the Charles Street project?
No, not expected to. No, the trail is pretty much out of the way of where the work is. The work here is all contained. Yeah, the trail, I believe, is on the other side of Bogart Creek there, is it not?
Yeah, it won't be affected by the construction. It is nearby, but there's no need to put any vehicles on the trail.
No.
Yeah, we're on the other side of the fence. The second question is, will there be any detour signs for Lindsay Avenue?
Yeah, so once we get the schedule from the contractor and their work plan, they will be required to provide a traffic protection plan that includes detour signage, detour routes. So whether that is Lindsay Avenue or if it is back at Longford up to Gwillimbury, which may be the more desirable route instead of using Lindsay. Yes, there will be signage in place once that's finalized.
Perfect. The third question, what type of dust control will be used, water or calcium or other?
Typically both. So water would typically be used if there's dirt, debris, dust created on asphalt. You wouldn't put calcium on an asphalt surface. But if it's a granular surface, that would get calcium because you wouldn't want to put water on that and saturate your trench too much. So both would be the answer.
Okay, and the fourth question is, will there be a pre-construction vibration study?
You want to take that, Rob?
Sure. So in this particular case, we will not be doing a vibration study. The main reason being that underground sewer works don't really cause enough vibration to be a high risk to surrounding residences. It's the road works where there's a lot of compaction that's required that causes that really heavy vibration where we see issues. Again, very rarely, but it does happen for that type of work, and that's why we do it for the road portion. But we just don't see that on the underground construction. So the risk of any issues is extremely low in this case. So we will not be doing that work.
Thanks, Rob. Right now, here's another question that just came in. Will both lanes / directions of Penn be resurfaced / replaced?
No, right now the plan is trench restoration only. So disturbed areas, asphalt will be saw cut and just restored with granules and asphalt.
So at this time, the condition of Penn just doesn't warrant a full resurfacing in this location. It will be prioritized with all other roads through our prioritization process. So if it needs resurfacing, it will be done through other programs.
And will there be any impact to driveways?
As far as, okay, so there will be impact in the sense that the contractor will have equipment working in front of driveways so they can dig and put pipes in the ground. There is no plans to disturb driveways because there's all the work on Penn will be contained within the curb line right now. So unless there's an issue that comes up that a service has to be replaced to property line or something like that, that would be the only situation. But we won't know that until we get in there. Right now, like I said, we're not planning to connect the services to the new sewer pipes.
Yeah, so just even to clarify a little bit, so we are going to be inspecting the connections. There's a pipe that connects the house to the main line on the road. There's no plan to replace those pipes unless they are in poor condition. So if they are, they will be done, and then there may be impact to a driveway, which will have to be restored through the project. As of right now, we don't believe that's going to be the case, but we'll know more once they're exposed through the excavation process.
And then another question just came in. Any disruption of sewer service to residents, and how will that be communicated?
Any disruption of sewer service will be minimal. Like the time for connecting the existing service to the new pipe will be very minor. If there is we can't have a long-term disconnection of the sewer that has to be maintained. So we don't expect it.
Yeah, the bigger disruption will be possibly to driveway access. We do have rules in place that say the contractor has to give, I believe it's at least 24 hours at a very minimum notice to people before any disruption occurs. So in this case, it's likely going to be access to the driveway on a temporary basis. That's going to be the bigger concern. But if there are any issues with service disruptions, they will be notified ahead of time. But we are not expecting that to be the case for this project. Thank you. Okay. So maybe we'll just leave it for one more minute to see if anyone else has any other questions. But again, thanks to everyone who attended tonight, and thanks for all the questions. There will be further notices going out to the residents in the area, and we look forward to getting in there and getting this project done. So again, thank you very much, and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.